Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Gaskins here, just popping in for a little video. See, some of y'all sent me a post about, the post was about arranged marriages. And you know, it's funny to me how a lot of times it's a lot of people that are claiming to be tired of hearing about love and relationship. But that's all the blogs post about. And I'm like, I get tired of talking about love and relationship. People may like they get tired of hearing about love and relationships, but that's what get the most play on these blog pages. And I've also noticed that people who don't talk about relationships, when they talk about relationships, that reel or that video will get more play than the rest of their stuff, and that'll make them keep doing relationship videos. I know a businessman who was all 100% business, happened to do a video talking about his wife and how he do for her. Thing went crazy, went absolutely viral. 75 million views or something crazy. And then he kept on doing it. But for them, it'd be about the money. It'd be about the clout, the fame. It ain't about wanting relationships to be better on purpose. It ain't about purpose. And so I noticed that it's just a lot of talk about it. And the thing about it is we speak from where we are. So when you look at people who married and happy, they're gonna speak from a certain place. People who married and happy and real, they're gonna speak from a certain place. People who married and miserable, they're gonna speak from a certain place. Married, miserable, and real from a certain place. People who single and frustrated from a certain place. People who single and content from a certain place. People who single and happy, everybody speaks from where they are. So a lot of times you have to be able to even listen to the tone and the pace of the message. You got to be able to look at where the message is coming from. You got to evaluate the source, because the messenger matters sometimes more than the message. And that's what we don't understand. So when you read stuff online and you hear stuff online, if you don't confront it with your conscious mind, your subconscious mind will accept it as a fact and it will move toward it. And so you'll read something and you may not really dive into it and confront it, and you'll be like, that's some craziness, but not too deep, and you'll keep going, and 3 weeks later you'll have this feeling that says, man, I probably need an arranged marriage. And what you don't realize, that's from the post you read weeks ago that you didn't sit and spend time with and confront. So I want you to understand that and realize that this social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, it can be very helpful and it can be very harmful when it comes to your mindset. And so you got to be ready. You got to be prepared. And so here's the thing. You know what? Do I got an alarm set? My phone might cut off. Alarm go off. Gotta wake my son up in a little bit. Got a game today. And so here's the thing. Somebody sent me a post and it was talking about, it was a young lady, I think she's from reality TV, posting that she understands why people do arranged marriage and why they last longer. It was a post about arranged marriages lasting longer. And it's a lot to that. And it's a reason why they did that. But at the same time, we live in a new day and time to where an arranged marriage, 9 out of 10 of them is absolutely miserable. And so you got to ask yourself, do you want to be absolutely miserable? Because what do we as humans value more than anything? The freedom of choice. We value the agency over our lives. When people was dropping like flies from 19, people dropping like flies, there and masks were mandated. There were people marching and protesting, saying that you are taking away my rights by mandating a mask on me. You making me wear a mask to save my life and to save the lives of other citizens. You taking away my rights. I got the right to catch this here virus and to die. And I got the right to give it to somebody else. They was marching for the right to catch something that nobody understood, but it was killing people every day. That shows you right there that humans value freedom. And so in an arranged marriage, that is not freedom. Because this person is being chosen, so therefore the institution of marriage with cultures that arrange marriages, it has nothing to do about love, happiness. They're saying your life is not about happiness. They're going back biblical to the point of saying your life is about procreation. Your life is about moving the human race forward. This is not about your comfortability. This is not about your happiness. This is not about your preferences. That's what they're saying in arranged marriages. So when we look at stuff, we got to understand it's always two sides to a coin. Both sides of the coin ain't heads, and both sides of the coin ain't tails. So they last longer because they got common goals. The goal is to be financially stable and to have kids. But here's the thing. A lot of times in those cultures, in those religions, it's for the preservation. It's because they see certain races infiltrating, gentrifying, mixing, and diluting. So they say, we want to preserve our race, our religion, our culture. We don't want to infiltrate. We don't want to be watered down. We don't want to mix. We will respect. We will collaborate and work with, do business with, make ourselves rich. We'll make y'all rich, but we don't want to have children with y'all. That's what the cultures of arranged marriage is doing. That's why you do not see that really in European culture, American culture, because the Americans, the whites, they more so about enlarging territory, conquering. I was talking to my white friend the other day. He said, like it or not, America is the enforcer. Like it or not, America is the most dominant country on the planet. Meaning that America will butt the nose in other people's business and force people to get in line. And that's why when it come back this way, you better have a bunker. Cause boy, look here, when somebody get fed up, woo, boy, look here. And so listen, some cultures and religions, they not with that. They like, no, bro, you're not finna have us over here with green eyes and curly hair and this color skin glowing in the dark. No, we want to keep what we got. We want to keep right what we got. And it's about preservation. It's about advancement of the culture, advancement of their people. And then when other cultures in other parts of the world do that, they will be called racist, segregationists, this here, this that. But them cultures that's doing arranged marriage, they're like, listen, bro, I don't care what you call me. Just call me stable. Whatever you call me, put stable and wealthy and focused and driven. Put that with it. Whatever else you want to call me. And that's all they worry about. But guess what? You can bet your bottom dollar. A lot of them women frustrated to no end. A lot of them women so mad. Them women so blown away. The women like, man, look here, man. I ain't with that. Woke up on your own, huh? I like that. Man, when I came in there at 10, boy, you were talking to the Lord. I say, so, me and mama, when I came in there at 10,
yeah,
you were knocked out. So I figured let you get a little more natural sleep.
I woke up at 8:50, but I went back to sleep.
Went back to the, okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna leave here 12:30. Now listen, what you need to eat, because no, you got to do more. So go in there and find something to eat, son, because listen, even if you put toast bread with butter, because it's 11:15, you play at 3. You can't go till 3. It's different if you played at 11 or you played at 12, that shake gonna be good. But you need to put some type of carbs on you that's not, you know, greasy and fat. Do that. Do a bagel. And make sure you eat that. And you're gonna need, trust me, because you don't play till 3. And drink a shake. You know what I'm saying? That way you'll be somewhat fasted, but not too. We're gonna be on time now. Hey, 12:15, crank up the sprinter. And you can put your Xbox in there if you want to for the ride back or the ride over. Hey, we ain't listen to that trap music. So if you need to zone out, then put your Xbox in there. Like, you gonna listen to that crap. The trap music, that crap music. So listen, this is what's going on. So you got to think about this. You seen on the woman cane, they tried to put the young lady with them arranged marriages. That man went to meet him. As soon as he met her, backhand her. She got up and, whoa, pushed that man. He flipped across the table, hit the ground. He hopped up. He said the whispers were true, and went on about his business. Her daddy, who was her adopted daddy, he couldn't arrange no marriage for her. He took her right down there to the king quarters and dropped off. And she happened to become a great warrior, according to this fictional story. Well, it was some real, some fake. Historians say it was fake. All that. So, listen to me. That right there is a little depiction of what's really behind the scenes of arranged marriage. Because you got to realize, women, see, a lot of time, most of the women that's being raised for arranged marriage, they mama and daddy not gonna let their feet get too big. They gonna have them in shoes that's too little. They not gonna let them get no acne. They not gonna let their body get out of whack. They gonna keep them pristine. So a lot of these women that's in these arranged marriages, they coming in smelling like berries and oils, looking good. And these men, a lot of them coming in, with a keg, out there with a keg, all kind of back hair, need a back wax, hairy all over, breath stink from smoking so much, cigars and hookah, all kind of stuff. So if women around here single today talking about they want a 6 foot tall man, and he got to like this kind of music, and he got to look this kind of way, and he got to have dimples, what you think a woman who used to having a choice gonna do when they bring her a sumo wrestler talking about arranged marriage? No, everything that glitter ain't gold. So this is what you got to realize and understand. You got to realize and understand that. So, listen to me. You have to understand that marriage, it don't matter how you set it up. You set it up arranged, you set it up unarranged, you can marry for love, you can marry for business, you can marry for status, for money. All of it will fail if you don't do the work. All of it will fail. Now see, one of the benefits is they got a goal to succeed. So they'll figure out how to get along with each other. And they'll get to know each other, knowing that they're building on the same foundation. So that's where the benefit. And here's how parents in other cultures and countries can kind of arrange a marriage. And I noticed sometimes white families do this without doing it. So, and some black families and Hispanic families do it too. So it's like this right here. If I see these parents over here and they live in a $1 million house and I'm in a $1 million house and my son in the 10th grade and their daughter in the 10th grade, we start to hang with each other. We go fishing, we go out to eat, we go do this and that. My son and their daughter is at the table talking, kikiing, laughing. They might not start dating, but that seed done been planted. And that's how a lot of families arranging marriages without arranging marriages. And then they grow up and get married and say, oh, well, they knew each other since 6th grade, or they knew each other since 9th grade, or they were childhood friends. It actually was our neighbor, but it just was putting them in those quarters, putting them around. And they didn't even know what was happening. So that be happening. That be happening. And what I noticed too is a lot of times parents, certain parents, if they see that there's a kid, there's a family that got more money or that come from money, they'll position their son or daughter around that son or daughter, knowing that their son or daughter who come from less could end up being the affection of that son or daughter who come from more. And I see that happen all the time. And it's really the parents doing it. And the parents will sell the son or daughter on financial stability. Hey, I know you might not like the person. I know they might not be all of that. They might not be in the in crowd, might not be the coolest, might not be the best looking or the fittest, but listen, you want to have college funds for your kids? You want to have a nice house? You want to be able to vacation around the world? Because understand this, you go get that boy that you like, and he's coming out of that trailer park, he's coming out of that little bitty house, he's not going to have anything. And you're going to go through a lot, and you're still going to get cheated on, still going to get talked down to. So they get talked to about that stuff, and they get educated on them finances, and guess what? Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. You have to stop looking at statistics, and you got to make sure that you don't become a negative statistic. You got to stop looking at the internet, and you got to make sure you do your due diligence and you do your work Because that's what's gonna make the difference. So I want you to understand this now. Understand this. Because it's getting real. It's getting real because you finna see all kinds of stuff happening. And one thing that bothers me, when women say, do marry for money. When women say marry for money, listen, I get it. You're gonna have money, but unless you marry a certain type of man for money, you're gonna mean a man who is notches beneath you, who put you on a pedestal. Unless you go find that kind of man, you're gonna suffer. Because what you have to realize is a man knows what his money buys. And what a man buys, he owns. So if you get with a man for money, he's gonna know that you're with him for money. And you will be abused. Verbally, physically, emotionally, financially, because he knows you're with him for money. So he is going to pimp you, prostitute you, proselytize you, use you. You're gonna be a do-girl. He's gonna be sticking bottles in you, rakes in you, broom handles. He's going to be urinating on you. Every wild and nasty R. Kelly, Bill Cosby fantasy, Ted Bundy, Epstein, Weinstein, every vile fantasy that a man could have, he's gonna take that out.